Good evening. I would like to call this Brunswick City Commission regular scheduled commission meeting for Thursday, August 6th, 2026 to order. If we could all please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Father God, we thank you for the time that we get to come together to do the work of the people. We ask that you continue to bless us with the wisdom and the courage that it takes to create a better city, a better Brunswick for those who live here now and for those to come. In your son, Jesus' name, we do pray. Amen. Our pledge of allegiance. I want to triple check Commissioner Harris is online.
Yes, I'm here.
Wonderful, Commissioner. Thank you for being with us this evening. I want to say thank you to the general public as well for being gracious enough with us to allow us to move this commission meeting one day. We decided to move it one day because not only do we have an amazing teacher on our commission, we also have an amazing parent on our commission, and we wanted to ensure that we made space not only for those on our commission, but also in our community to attend the open house for our school system. And with that, we want to say a big thank you and congratulations, and anything we can do for you, please let us know to our teachers and our students as they return to school for the school year. So, Commissioner Atkinson Williams, we thank you for your service. You continue to show up and love on our kids. So we appreciate you. Big shout out as well while I'm talking to Commissioner Roll, who worked to put on a back to school book bag and supply giveaway where over 300 students in our communities, 300 families in our community were served. Not only did they get their supplies, but they also got some amazing food and got to hang out and not only sit with commissioners who came through, but to hang out with our chief and other leaders in our city. So I want to say thank you to her and to everybody that stopped by and to our sponsors also that work with Commissioner Roll. I don't want to name them because I'm going to miss a name, so I can throw it to you later. But to our sponsors also that made that happen. With that, we will move on to the approval of the agenda and the adoption of the August 5th, 2026 regular scheduled meeting agenda. Is there any addendums or subtractions?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to defer item number 5 under items to consider for approval. Consider approval of the Glen Brunswick 911 service agreement for external entity for Jekyll Island State Park Authority until August the 19th, 2026 commission meeting.
Hearing a first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing a first and a second, all those in favor show by the usual sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes and the item is deferred until August 19th. Is there any other subtractions or addendums? Hearing none, we will open it for a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt the August 5th, 2026 regular scheduled meeting agenda with the items that were omitted.
Hearing a first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing a first and a second, all those in favor show by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes and the agenda is adopted. With that, we will move on to public comments. Assistant City Clerk. Good evening. Thank you for being with us.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. My name is Roland Baron, and I just wanted to, we own the Baron Tea Factory and Tasting Room in off Reynolds Street. We came here a few years ago from Macon, Georgia for our history, and we love being in Brunswick. We love the people, we love the county, the area. We've tried to be very good stewards as well to the area. We participate in things on Union Street, and I helped start a wine festival here in St. Simons. And we've really brought a lot of people coming to our tea factory and tasting rooms. We'll have people from other cities that'll say, we're coming to experience your tea. We love it. One more. What you see is this tea bag is opening. And on it, you'll notice it says certified biodegradable. This whole product is 100% biodegradable. This is made out of sugarcane fiber and corn and cotton. It totally biodegrades 100%. We're one of the few in the world that has this product, and we produce all the tea, everything, and we're certified organic. And there are only 9 machines like what we have in North America. So it's not like a little coffee roaster. These are very, very rare setups. So we moved this from Macon to here. So when we originally came here, we needed 3-phase power. We were renovating the building on Reynolds. We reached out and said, we need 208 3-phase. We were done with the building, and after 4 or 5 months, Georgia Power finally came through. But they said, we can't get 208. You can get 240 3-phase, and you're going to get the old technology with a high leg as well. So we gave them the specs, and they said, your machines will work on this. So we asked Georgia Power to investigate. So in October, just last year, we had a power spike. And it blew one of our $1 million machines. It literally fried half the stuff in it. And, you know, I called Georgia Power 3 times. They sent people up and they said, everything is fine. Okay, well, it wasn't fine because it kept on blowing fuses and everything. So now in October, I had 20 clients that I moved down here with. And now I'm down to 1. And here's the best part. I get a call from Canada saying, we want to move our tea production to y'all. We need 1 million boxes of tea for our initial order. That's like a dream. That's $4 or $5 million. And you know what my answer is? Sorry, I can't make it here in Brunswick. So we then had electricians come, you know, 5 electricians to say, we need help bucking down our power. And they all said, we ain't touching this. It's gonna, we can't deal with insurance. This is a Georgia Power issue. You have to get Georgia Power to do this. Now, to give you an idea, our electricity was running at 270 in my factory at this time. I have bought a couple refrigerators, microwaves, tea kettles. The machines have been fried. And then anyways, the guy from Macon finally came down and he said, oh no, something's wrong. So he calls Georgia Power, and Georgia Power comes over and says, whoops, my bad. You're running a 270 to 280. It's a little high. And then they basically said, we took you off automatic to manual and our power wasn't being regulated, which was causing spikes. This was finally fixed, and then I was able to fix the machines. However, since then, our power has been running high, meaning we can only use machines about 1/5 of the capacity. I'm supposed to make 30,000 of these tea bags a day. I'm lucky if I can make 1,000 because the machines are running so hot. I don't want to blow them. And we cannot hire anyone to work with these because we can't run our machines. So our business has been severely impacted. So then this July, right, I go out and our AC is not running, and I go out to the wall outside and the circuit breaker is literally melted. Okay, so anyways, I get that replaced. And then just a couple of weeks ago, my air conditioning unit is fried. All right, so now that's another 10 grand I got to pay for. Again, Georgia Power thinks there is no problem. They've told us numerous times that there is no issue, that they're within the ratio, and they have stood fast in saying their power is in range. But again, we know it's not true. How do we know this? We paid $10,000 for a new air conditioning system. And in order not to fry this one, I had them install a voltage regulator monitor shutoff switch which shuts off the thing once it reaches 247. Well, guess what? Every single night it shuts off. And when I go in the morning, it's 90 degrees because it's the voltage is not steady. It's spiking all the time. So anyways, we're in a position to not to be able to operate our business. Then I brought up 5 electricians to buck down the power. No one will touch it. They say you have to go to Georgia Power. Georgia Power says that they're 100% compliant. We're on our own. So now we're asking the city for help. I'm between a rock and a hard place. If we cannot get the power issue resolved downtown Brunswick, you're going to lose one of their small manufacturing facilities due to not being able to supply power. We need help in retaining a downtown manufacturing service business, help to protect jobs. We need help to support power that is consistent. We need help to protect millions in equipment investment. We need help with Georgia Power to react. It will soon be 1 year where they fried our equipment. When I came down here, our goal was to make money and then buy like 20 acres and create, you know how Charleston has the tea gardens? Well, that's what we wanted to do here. But guess where all my money's going? It ain't for that. So let's make Georgia Power stand behind their advertising. I'm looking at TV and I hear Georgia Power is here for you. Really? Or citizens wherever we can serve. Another one, energy efficiency made simple for your business. My favorite one that I saw last night, one less thing to worry about. I'm reaching out for help.
Number one, I want to say, Mr. Perone,
Yeah.
I want to say thank you for choosing downtown Brunswick. We will work diligently with our Georgia Power contacts to not only bring these concerns, but to walk through how we can be a part of the fixes to ensure not only your business continues to thrive, but any other manufacturing that wants to move downtown. I think it sets a pretty bad standard if we can't figure out these kinds of issues. So before you leave, we'll make sure we connect and continue it down the road. Any other public comments, Assistant City Clerk? That closes the public comment period. Assistant City Clerk, can you make sure we get all of Mr. Perone's information and set up a meeting pretty soon? Thank you. With that, we will move on to appointments to Brunswick Housing Authority. And the appointment is actually the reappointment of the current chair, Mr. Kamayu Dickerson. So he is reappointed to the Brunswick Housing Authority. With that, we'll move on to public hearings for new alcohol licenses. And for that, will call up Director Hunter, who has some introductions of how we will now walk through this portion.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. And I just wanted to take a moment and introduce you to our new Deputy Marshal. She didn't come from very far away. Ms. Trina Rankin, she was in our Parks and Rec department, but prior to that, she oversaw licensing for Glenn County. So we're very happy to have her experience in our department, and she'll be able to help us out in lots of different ways. So we're very excited to have her on the team in the Planning, Development, and Codes department. So thank you.
Thank you, Director Hunter, Ms. Rankin. Always good to see you. You just hopping from one position to the other, helping our city out,
Yes.
being an asset to us, and we're happy to have you in this department.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Wonderful. With that, we will jump into our first business. I'm going to read it as it is on the sheets for the public. SSP 0531 Corp. I'm not sure if that was just left on by accident or if it's actually a part of the name. DBA, or doing business as Davies, is our first one up, and they are on 3001 Altama Avenue for retail beer and wine. And Mr. Patel, can you please come to the front?
Good evening.
Good evening.
First, I'd like to say thank you for your service, and thank you to John and Trina, for helping us through this process. My name is Somal Patel. As the mayor stated, I'm here to apply for an alcohol license for an existing business located at First and Parkwood. I used to be a resident of Brunswick back in 2001 when I graduated college. Moved out in 2017 when I had the existing business that was taken from me when the lease didn't renew, and I have an opportunity to come back to buy an existing business. So that's why I'm here.
I appreciate that. 1 second before we continue. We are hearing a
Echo.
humming or something.
Am I too
Wonderful.
close?
Give us
Am I
one
too
second.
close? Yeah, that's fine.
Little bit. That might fix it.
Wonderful. That's about okay. Good deal. Good deal. Thank you for
Thank
that. Thank you for giving us that information. Yeah, please. I'm sure we'll have a few questions for you. So with that, I will open it for questions and comments from the commission. And we also have one commissioner that's online. So we
Okay.
want to make sure she has some time if she has any questions or comments. So with that, I will open it to the commission.
I just had one quick question. What's the hours of the store again?
It's 6 to 9.
Okay.
6 to 9 Monday through Friday, and then obviously shortened hours on the weekend, 8 to 9, and then 8 to 8 on Sunday.
Okay.
Question. I know, I think it was like the May or 1st of June that when you presented at the tri-area
Yes.
MPA, but have you all completed the transaction, the transfer yet, or are you still, that's still pending based on this?
It's contingent on the licenses, obviously. So when we did the contract and stuff, once the licenses get approved, we can literally take over the next day. We're just waiting for everything get approved. On the state level, we've gotten approved for the tobacco license, the lottery license, and everything. Once the city gets approved and it gets put into the system, then the state knows that and they issue the state license right away, and then we can literally take over. So
Okay.
we're just waiting on that to officially happen once the document's up, because the licenses have to be put on the wall just in case inspectors and stuff come by. So we're just waiting on that. So once that's done, we can officially take over. So if it was to be approved today, then we can literally take over Monday.
Monday.
Right.
Okay, so it's a
Right.
day.
Well,
okay.
yeah, because obviously 6 o'clock today, things happen tomorrow, the weekend, so we can literally take over Monday and sign the final documents at the lawyer's office.
Okay, so, and this question is from Director Hunter, because, so Director Hunter, once he, this says hypothetically, he's approved tonight, and like you said, the turnaround, what does the owner do? Do they bring back their documents, or how do you know that they've been approved or the state has released them of those things?
Documents from the state level.
Yes.
So once the approved application, we upload that to the state website and they verify their application information and then they release their license.
Okay, so we upload. Okay,
Right.
thank you. I appreciate it.
So just to reiterate on that, the state license has already been applied for. It's just pending local, so city approval. So once that's done and uploaded, like John said, they approve it right away. It's in the system. They're just waiting on the local license to be approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any more questions? Thank you.
Commissioner Harris, any questions or comments?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. I want to reiterate, I know Commissioner Atkinson Williams asked about it and said it plainly, but I want to make sure everyone knows they did go to the MPA, have a conversation with the MPA. So that part of the process was done, and we appreciate
Thank you.
you reaching out to the community to do that. Any other questions or comments? If none, if you could just step right here to your left, my right for me. We will now open it up for public comment. Seeing no one and hearing no one online, we will close the public comment period and ask if there's any more questions or comments from the commission. If there aren't, we will open it for a motion.
I move that we approve the sale beer and wine license for the SSP 0531 Court, DBA Davies, owner Samel Patel at 3001 Altown Ave.
Hearing a first, do I have a second?
Second.
Hearing a first and a second. All those in favor show by the usual sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. With that, we will move on to the Bookery of Old Town LLC at 1624 Newcastle Street. Consumption on premise of beer and wine. Ms. Warner?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. Good to have you with us, Ms. Warner.
Good evening. I'm Frida Warner, and I'd like to introduce my sister as well. That's Brenda Adcock. And I purchased the building that the market was in. If you're familiar with that, it's right next to Reed's. And my dream was to put a bookstore in downtown Brunswick again. There used to be one. And after doing some research, I realized that having a bookstore, you need some other revenue streams because independent bookstores have a little bit of a hard time if they don't have other ways of making money. And one of those is beverages. So we are currently working with Wake Up Coffee, and we're going to have Wake Up Coffee at the Bookery, which also our books are going to be both new and used books. But we'll have the Wake Up Coffee, and we're applying to have the beer and wine to go with it as well. And we also have pastries, and so we'll have sweet things and then savory things to go along with sitting and enjoying book clubs and that kind of thing within the building. It's a very big building. I don't know if you know this, but we have kept the vintage look of the building, and we've put book areas, and so there'll be like places for people to meet with clubs or Bible studies or things like that within the building amongst the books. So we wanted beverages to go along with that. We are planning on starting with hours of 10 a.m. to 7 to begin with. I kind of feel like it may end up being a little more to the evening if we're doing book clubs because a lot of people just getting off work. Which we're open to do. We probably could do events there. Like I said, it's a big place. So we're hoping that we could do trivia or things like that just to kind of bring community people together. If you haven't had a chance to come and see us, we're almost done. The renovation, we started it in March and we're just about finished with everything. We had to put plumbing and new electricity and everything in this building, but it's come along really great. And so we're excited. And we also have been open for First Fridays right in the front. So if you've seen us do that, it seems like the community is pretty excited about us being there too. So we are applying to see if we can have the alcohol license to go along with our books. Questions?
Thank you for that, Ms. Warner. It is good to know people are still reading books.
I know.
That is always a positive. And I would love for my Bible study to have drinks. Unfortunately, it doesn't.
I've heard this.
I will.
I'm Presbyterian.
Right. I didn't say, hey, we need to hang out. There it is. Questions or comments from the commission?
I'm sorry. Mrs. Warren, I know you
Yes.
presented at the Midtown MPA because I was present
Yes,
at that
yes, yeah.
as well. Just one question in particular. When you say, I know the space is very large. Would it be more like an event rental for people to come and use the space, or how many individual possibly? I know you for on-site, but since you mentioned about social
Well,
clubs and.
Yeah, it could be. Well, I mean, most book clubs are probably max 20 people. So, I mean, we have seating that can in different areas that can accommodate for things like that. It could be maybe, I was even thinking people might want birthday parties or something like that. I mean, something small. I wouldn't do like huge events or anything.
But about 2025.
Yeah, and you have to come see it. We do have areas where we can combine things and it could be as many as like 20 or 25. If you're familiar with the building, the front part was all tiled and that we've kept the same, but that has most of the books and the bookcases are all built in the bar area. And then as you go back further in the building, we have this wide open space where we have things kind of divided that where you can sit and be either with a group or just by yourself.
Okay.
I could see people coming there just to work online or study. I've had tons of college students say they'd like to come or
Okay.
high school students. And event wise, I want to get started and then we'll see how it evolves. Because if we could do like trivia or something like that, we could do events like that.
Okay. Thank you.
I just wanted to say, I know you say you started the work in March, but just congratulations on being able to see your dream come true.
Thank
Because a lot of people have dreams and they don't,
This is my retirement.
Right.
I worked at St. Simon's Presbyterian Church on St. Simon's for 33 years, and I just retired there in December. And this was my dream to, I said, what else can I do? So, but thank you.
You're welcome.
One more thing. I know you brought your sister, but is your daughter going to still cook the
Yes.
pastries?
Yes,
for you?
Eliza Hours is my daughter, and she's working with us, and she's a baker. She's also a professional photographer. So if you ever see her on social media, it looks like a professional did it. That's because Liza is. But yeah, she's got all her food handler and her the whatever the next step is for her she has a little pastry kitchen there. And so we put in the kitchen for her. And then my sister she just moved here from Franklin, Tennessee to be with me. And she's running the barista part of it. So she's been working closely with Sam Brooks at Wake Up and getting that all started. So she's excited. This is her retirement too.
That is wonderful. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, if you could step over here to your left, we will open it up for public comment. Seeing no one, we will close the public comment period. And if there are no other questions or comments, we will open it for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. I move that we approve the alcohol license for the Bookery of Old Town LLC at 1624 Newcastle Street for consumption on premises beer and wine.
Hearing the first, do I hear a second? Hearing the first and second, all those in favor show by the usual sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Warren. Any other business before you all? That was easy enough, right? There it is. All right. With that, we will move on to items to consider for approval. Consider approval of the July 15, 2026 regular scheduled meeting minutes. If there is no objection, I will open it up to a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we consider approval of the July 15th, 2026 regular scheduled meeting minutes.
Hearing the first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing the first and second, all those in favor show by the usual sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. With that, we will move on to number 6, which is consider approval to authorize staff to proceed with rehabilitation of 1701 Wolf Street for affordable home ownership program. Ms. Hill, it's good to see you.
Good evening, commissioners and mayor, as well. As always, good to see you guys. Tonight, we're requesting authorization. Oops, sorry. Tonight, we're requesting authorization to rehabilitate 1701 Wolf Street so it can serve as temporary housing for homeowners participating in our CHIP program. This project fills a critical gap in our housing program and ensures we can successfully complete major rehabilitation projects for residents who cannot safely remain in their home during construction. One of the biggest challenges with rehabilitation programs is where families stay while major work is taking place. In many cases, homeowners simply cannot live safely in the home during the constructions. Today, we actually have a solution for that need. So the solution is to rehabilitate 1701 Wolf Street. Rather than paying for hotel stays or trying to locate temporary rentals, we have an opportunity to invest in a city-owned asset that can serve residents for years to come. Our goal is to fully rehabilitate the property so it provides safe, comfortable housing that reflects the quality of the homes we are creating through our housing program. And this is just the scope of work and shows you the budgeted cost for the actual rehab of the home. And that price is important. The long-term vision would be able to sell this home and make it homeowner. So keeping the cost low, being that it's a rehab, is what makes this house also a fun project for us. So this project is more than one house. It strengthens the city's ability to deliver housing assistance efficiently while providing stability for residents during construction. And these are just a lot of the boxes that it checks off: prevents delay and CHIP rehabilitation. You know, we could go down. It protects elderly and vulnerable homeowners, increases the grant effectiveness, and so on. This investment improves a city asset while reducing future logistical challenges associated with housing residents during rehabilitation. Again, the long-term vision, this is not simply a short-term solution. It creates flexibility for future housing programs and preserves an important community asset. As you see at the bottom, I did put future affordable homeownership opportunities. If directed by commission, we may start seeing other needs, and we might need to keep this home as transitional housing for a little bit longer after the CHIP grant is over. So today, we are asking our housing program, as it grows, we have secured funding, built strong partnerships, and preparing to rehabilitate more homes than ever before. One missing piece has been temporary housing for residents during construction. By investing in 1701 Wolf Street, we solved that challenge, and we're also preserving a city-owned asset. So we're asking for y'all's approval to move forward on the rehabilitation of 1701, but using it as transitional housing for our CHIP recipients.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your work on this project and the work of staff on this project. Thank you for the continued work of the commission and their focus, the commission's focus on housing, from Commissioner Harris's work on the land bank to Commissioner Atkinson Williams's work, not only on housing, but also with the heirs properties. And so I just want to say thank you to the commission for continuing to push to get us to this point. And Ms. Hill, you are continuing to make sure that we stay on track, pushing us along and checking boxes and getting things done. So we appreciate your work as well. Is there questions or comments for Ms. Hill?
Mr. Mayor, I have a question for Ms. Hill. Ms. Hill, after the house is rehabbed and families are moved in for temporary housing, who pays for the utility? How will that work?
The individual will have to pay for the utilities as well as move furniture in, furniture out. We do not help with any of that, just for the liability. We are, as well as we talk about it, we think we're going to charge them, honestly, a very small, a monthly amount. I don't want to put a number, but let's just say small amount, so that when they leave, there's not damages and so forth that we may have to take care of. So it is going to be transitional housing, but it'll be much cheaper than anything they can attain in our area. But they pay for utilities.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and you all will, and this, even though I'm pretty sure it happened, like explain that the costs are, this is expected for them to transfer the electricity or utilities from their current residents to that residence?
Yes, ma'am. We'll walk them through that whole process, just making sure I would make sure all of the water, lights, everything's turned on. They're comfortable before I,
Okay.
kind of
Now-
let their hand go.
All right. So who will maintain the one at the residence that's been rehabbed? Because when you're rehabbing, sometimes you need access to electricity or do they have to pay the combination? Or have y'all not thought that far?
Well, a lot of these homes are going to be completely cut from power and water for quite some time, because they'll be putting in a whole new electrical system and water system or plumbing. They do have generators that they can use as well. I would assume it'll be a much less impact on their power monthly, but again, that is their responsibility. Anything that's going to be turned on in those homes will stay under their name, so they'll have two accounts at that time. But they will go the first few months, it would only be one while the house is going through the demolition process and getting everything back up. So that rebuild would put a second payment on their utilities for sure.
Just check.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
I think I spoke to you about it before, but just thanking you for all the work that you're doing. Also 1701 Wolf Street. I spent many Sundays having Sunday dinners in there. I know Executive Director Basin, he might remember, Deacon Lloyd and Gladys Pickett. We grew up with them in church. So just having that home be, rehabbed and brought back to life, because we have a lot of times people that move into our community
Yeah.
from other places, and they talk about the blight and they talk about the conditions, but 35 years ago, we had communities where people lived and they owned their homes, and, we
Wow.
went to their homes after Sunday dinner. So I do feel that we're moving forward as a city, progressing to get those, communities back, if that makes
Yes.
sense what I'm saying. So
Yes.
I'm excited to see the house be rehabbed and excited to see a family move in the house and excited to see Wolf Street look like how it looked 35 years ago. So yeah.
Yeah.
So just wanted to say that.
Anytime I have a housing conversation with anyone, they're like, "You're passionate." Yes. So I understand. I feel those same feelings that you're talking about. I stayed off of Newcastle Street. My grandfather had a little service station right at, I think it's First. It's the Armory, anyways, and then the donuts and, Newcastle, I went to daycare here. So I'm with you. It was a lot more than what it is now. So we know that it can even be more than what it was. So I'm excited to see that growth here as well. So thanks for supporting it and always making it easy to bring things to you to only benefit our community. So thank you.
Any additional questions or comments? Commissioner Harris, just wanted to make sure.
I'm
Okay.
good. I've been a part of the
Yes.
process on this, so of course I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for everything, Chelsea, John, Angel, all of you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Harris.
We couldn't do it without Commissioner Harris as well, helping us through the land bank with this property, because it is coming out of the land bank, which is another win to see the land bank feeding into our housing program. So thank you for that, Commissioner Harris.
Thank you all. Y'all make it easy.
Good deal. With no other questions or comments, we will open it up for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. I move that we approve to authorize staff to proceed with the rehabilitation of 1701 Wolf Street for affordable home ownership program.
Here in the first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Here in the first and a second. All those in favor show by the usual sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Hill. With that, we will adjourn for the purposes of executive session for real estate in litigation. Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adjourn and move into executive session for purposes of
Real estate.
and
Litigation.
litigation.
Here in the first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Here in the first and the second, all those in favor show by the usual sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes and we are adjourned to executive session. We are back from executive session and we will open it for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I have a motion to make. I move that we approve agreement to pursue legal claim by the city of Brunswick.
Here in the first, do I have a second?
Second.
Here in the first and the second, all those in favor show by the usual sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes.
Mr. Mayor, I have another motion to make.
Yes, ma'am.
I move that we approve the agreements to purchase portions of property as a part of the Alabama right-of-way project.
Here in the first, do I have a second?
Second.
Here in the first and second, all those in favor show by sign of aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. We will now open it for a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adjourn
Hearing the
the
first,
next meeting.
hearing the first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing the first and the second. All those in favor show by sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, we are adjourned.